We are continuing to look into allegations being made against the Baker County Detention Center. Now, this comes days after a new civil rights complaint and whistleblower report were filed, and a Florida congressman called for the facility to be shut down. Our Riley Phillips is here now with more on the history of this facility and what's next.
It just does not respect people's humanity.
The Baker County Detention Center is one of 4 ICE detention centers in the state of Florida. It houses both inmates from the county jail and people being detained by ICE. Amy Godshaw, an immigration lawyer for the ACLU of Florida, says those detainees are not being held on criminal charges. Rather, they're in civil detention while they wait for their immigration cases to move through the court system.
People who are in deportation proceedings, but there's also a lot of people who are in deportation proceedings who are not detained in ICE detention. It's just ICE has discretion for who they do or do not detain.
The Baker County Detention Center made headlines back in 2022 after 16 civil rights groups filed a federal complaint against the facility, citing inhumane conditions and abuse. Since then, the ACLU and the Baker County Sheriff's Office, which manages the facility, have been engaged in a federal lawsuit. The ACLU claims the agency denied detainees access to counsel in retaliation for filing the federal complaint. That lawsuit is still pending. The ACLU has filed at least 4 other complaints against the detention center in the last 2 years, including the latest one on November 14th.
I think all ICE detention centers are rife with abuse, and there's not enough medical care at any of these facilities. But I think Baker goes above and beyond in violating people's rights.
I reached out to ICE and the Department of Homeland Security for more information on the facility and how these allegations are being handled. I have not heard back yet, but I did find the latest Inspector General report on the detention center. The report, released in September, details the findings of an unannounced visit back in January. Inspectors found the facility complied with most of the federal standards, but according to the report, it missed several payments to detainees in the voluntary work program, failed to provide ICE handbooks to detainees, and did not comply with use of force standards. The report states those issues have been fixed. With the latest civil rights complaint and whistleblower report, the ACLU is joining calls for the ICE facility to be shut down.
We just don't need ICE detention to have border enforcement in the first place, and it's a huge waste of government resources. People are just abused while they're in the system.
Riley Phillips, First Coast News, on your side.